spring training is about 4 or 5 games in for most teams. We've got a lot to get to today. There are still unsigned free agent players. Jon Heyman is back in Florida after being with us here in the studio.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of streaks that have been put together already. Right, we like the streak trackers online on MLB.com. A lot of things happening in spring training, just to kind of keep you apprised as to what's happening here. Here are some of the notables from spring training. Most hitless at-bats, 0 for 8, 10 different guys.
Well, that doesn't make any sense.
Sure it does. Most scoreless innings, 4. And most production meetings missed on the phone, 12, record held by her.
Make sure you hold that phone close to you.
It's got to be more than that.
Well, it's 12 and counting.
Okay, we're just getting started. Maybe 12 in a
12
row.
in a row, right. You know, we're just getting started today, and it's only one day because she's going to spring training tomorrow, but it's so nice to have Lauren Shahadi back with us. Hi,
Oh my
Lauren.
gosh, I love you.
Hi.
Oh my gosh, I love you.
She's back
Scale
from
1 to 10. How much you miss me?
10
Oh,
plus.
10 plus.
But we watched you nailed the tournament, by the way. Great job for Turner covering college hoops. Did you leave that with a finer appreciation for collegiate sports?
Yes, absolutely. It's fun. The atmosphere was intense. It was so nice to have fans back. But I got a tweet that said, I saw you on Hot Stove. And this was last week. And I thought, I wrote back, I'm not on. They said, we saw you smelling your armpits. Oh, thanks, guys.
You know, interesting that you should bring that up, because we saw you on Instagram being regaled by Notre Dame players' magic tricks, and even he kind of got into the act. Here it is. In case you missed it yesterday, maybe Lauren missed it herself. The magic trick from the Notre Dame guy. Here we go.
So all I want you to do is just pick a card, and you're going to show the camera. I'm not going to look. Any card. All right. Show it to them. All good? All right. So I'm going to have you put it on top. I'm going to have you put it on the top of the deck, which may seem like a little cheap. I'm going to look at your card right now. I'm going to show you. Ready? Just to confirm. This is your card right here. 9 of spades. You can say yes. You can say yes or no. That's your card?
I didn't even look at it.
Oh, is this a card? All right, ready? So look, I'm going to take this, and I want you to push it in. I want you to push it in, and then magically it's going to pop to the top of the deck. Ready? No, the top. The top.
Stop! Stop it!
And so Lauren was so immersed in magic. Right after that experience, she volunteered for the old magicians saw a woman in half trick.
I didn't think it could happen, but the show got weirder.
We're so happy you survived that magic trick, Lauren.
As long as you're happy.
Yes.
Lauren, I figured when you'd come back with a big NIL deal, and we may not be able to keep you here.
Oh, stop it on the double.
Lauren is back, and Jon Heyman is back in Florida. He is on the show. We'll say good morning to him in a moment. And he treated us to this on Twitter yesterday. Tried boarding the plane as Noah Rosenbaum. They caught me. I can, but I think he meant to say, I can't believe, I can believe I didn't notice the wrong name on boarding pass, but can't believe I got through security as Noah. Have a nice flight, Noah. Here he is.
You got to explain this.
Yeah, you got
Noah.
some explaining to do here, man. That's a actionable offense that you committed.
Very bad. I picked up the ticket at the kiosk and didn't look at it, and it said Noah Rosenbaum on it, and I got through security, went to board the plane. They said, hey, you're not Noah Rosenbaum, and I had to redo it. I don't know. I guess Noah was already on the plane, although I've now been tweeted by Noah Rosenbaum, and he says he's not flying for 10 days. It might have been Noah Rosenblum. I'm not sure. I was so hurried. I'm not sure what happened, but I don't know how I got through security as Noah Rosenblum or Rosenbaum.
You didn't have to show your ID or anything, huh?
I did. I just think she wasn't paying attention. Yeah. No, I don't have clear. I have pre-check.
It's a little disturbing that, you have an ID that says Jon Heyman and a ticket that says Noah Rosenbaum. And, good morning, Mr. Rosenbaum. Gee whiz.
Good morning.
I mean, that's like a whole Catch Me If You Can DiCaprio subtext there. So I
know what it is.
We're glad you're there.
When you have bad reporting from Mr. Heyman, he just goes under Noah.
We're glad. Oh, that's right. We're glad you made it.
That wasn't me. That was Noah.
John, let's hit you on what today
let's go to
is.
warmer
March 22nd, and it's the date for teams and players to exchange arbitration figures. This is the kind of thing that we usually handle way before players are in uniform.
Yes.
But because everything is compressed into this 3 mad weeks before the April 7th opener, we're talking about arbitration figures now.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that, Matt, because that is clearly a complication. Teams and players like to do deals right as we lead up to the exchanging the figures day. And right now, there are a few deals have been done, and we have a 1 p.m. deadline, and almost all the players are on the field right now. So it's hard for them to approve deals while they're on the field. That's one of the negatives to all this compressed season and spring training. We shall see if deals are able to be done or the figures are exchanged. If they are exchanged, they can still negotiate up until their arbitration. But certainly a complication that, agents like to do deals, but they need the approval of the players to do the deals. And many of them are in the cages or out on the mounds or doing what they do. So we'll see about today. I think there will be a lot of deals, but maybe a few fewer because of that complication.
I know one guy who has 35 arbitration cases. One person. I mean, it's crazy.
One agent?
One agent has 35 arbitration cases.
Oh, my goodness.
Let me ask you this, John. We just put up, can you put that board back up real quick, guys? Josh Hader.
We got that full screen,
Aaron
Bill.
Judge, Soto, Trey Turner. How many of these lead to long-term contracts, or if not?
Yeah, I would say Soto will not. I mean, he's going to play it out 3 more years until free agency and then go for that $500 million deal. I think Hader will not be my guess. Turner turned down $100 million from the Nats, and now he's with LA. I think people think his slight preference is to be on the East Coast if possible. So I don't know that he's going to get a quick deal. Judge, I think, will get a deal with the Yankees. That's obviously an interesting one. I mean, these are 4 huge stars. There are many more. Devers, Edwin Diaz, Montas, and Minaya, the 2 pitchers, are on the block. Also arbitration eligible: Burns, Woodruff, Austin Riley, Teoscar Hernandez, Josh Bell, Hoskins. I mean, Dansby Swanson. There are a lot of players who are going to get $10 million and up, either today, tomorrow, or hopefully before arbitration, because none of us likes to see arbitration where things can get rather contentious, as you guys know.
That used to be the purpose of arbitration, was to force you into a long-term contract. And we've kind of got away from that process. And that's what needs to start to happen so you can keep players in the stable. But a lot of guys opt to want to run it all the way out.
Yeah.
And other clubs are saying we're not going to do it. But that was the purpose of arbitration. Go ahead, Matt.
Aaron Judge's case is fascinating, right? If not for the reason that he represents so much of the future for the Yankees, he's that guy now that the kids buy the jersey for. He means so much to the brand. He's also said that once the season starts, we're not talking about this anymore.
Yeah, I mean, you hit the nail on the head in terms of Aaron Judge's case. They buy the jerseys. He's one of the most popular players in baseball, and that certainly does affect negotiation. As Joel Sherman reported, they're going to begin within a week. They really have to, as we only have 2 weeks to go before the season begins. So they got to get going on this. Obviously, a great player and an awesome year last year, top 5 MVP for the second time in his career. The negative is that he's only played more than 112 games twice in his career, when he finished second in MVP to Altuve, and then last year, I believe, he was 4th in MVP. He's obviously a terrific all-around player, can play center, so we know he's an excellent right fielder, but big power, good personality. They love him. They want to keep him, but they do have their limits, and it's not going to be easy. I think it'll get done, but it is not going to be easy. I can tell you that right now.
Jon Heyman with us on a Tuesday, and we'll have a list in just a little bit about that kind of highlights some of the players that did come to agreement and avoided arbitration. But that list, very interesting. Jon, thank you. And let's talk a little bit further about Aaron Judge. Because of some of the already huge outstanding payroll commitments for the Yankees, it's not going to be easy to figure out how to keep another guy that might earn up to, I don't know, $300 million in his next huge big deal. They're paying Garrett Cole a ton of money, right? Yeah. They avoided having to pay Gary Sanchez a ton of money, but there's big payroll on this roster, clearly, with Stanton still $189 million out there. LeMahieu is owed a cool $75 million. And Aaron Hicks, who's healthy and will make a big difference this year with the Yankees, he's still got some money left on that contract as well. So let me ask you where you think this is going to go with Aaron Judge.
Well, I know there was a lot of talk last year about him being moved. You know, the Angels were actually a team that was rumored to have a deal done. I think you got to get it done. He's a franchise.
Get it done meaning an extension,
sign
new
him.
deal.
You got to sign Aaron Judge. You got to extend him out. I don't know if it's going to be $300 million. The way that we're looking at how things are done, what front offices are doing, age plays a big part. He's not 26, you know, so the 26-year-old, 27-year-olds, those are the guys getting the 300 plus. It's kind of going to be difficult. He's close to 30 now, 28, somewhere in that range. He's 29, he'll be 30 soon. So therefore, I don't see what's happening in the sport where guys are not sitting there giving you 10 years a whole lot anymore to get that $300 million. Mm-hmm. But they need to get something done.
Well, is the fact that they didn't make really much of a splash in the free agent market this year, is that in anticipation of having to back up the trucks to keep Aaron Judge there? Are those two things connected?
I would think so. I mean, do you get better than Aaron Judge in the free agent market? No.
Well, I mean, there's other places they could have spent the money. Pitching comes to mind, right? That's where that rotation has been called in a very entertaining fashion, and I don't know who came up with this, but Garrett Cole and the question marks, right?
Yeah,
There's a 60s band called Question Mark and the Mysterians. Well,
if you look at how Mr. Steinbrenner used to do it, how George did it, he always made sure he kept those guys. Everybody talks about the evil empire and how the Yankees spent all this money. They spent money on their great players. Jeter, Posada, Pettit. You go on. Bernie Williams. They commanded big contracts, and he paid them. So it's tough. Your payroll is going to go up when you have young players that are talented. What we're seeing today is teams go, all right, here's the money. We're going to trade this guy because they don't want to lock up guys. But if you have great talent, you got to lock them up. I think Aaron Judge is just figuring it out, folks. He gets better with age. And I saw this last year, and it reminded me of what Ted Williams had said many years earlier, how the whole history of baseball is predicated on who owns the inside pitch. Well, and once you do that, it changes everything. Here's a guy hit the ball the other way, but here's what Ted said. Go ahead, Ted.
That's where baseball history's made, from the middle in.
From the middle in, what he meant was, if I own the inside pitch, and I saw Aaron Judge start to pull the ball last year on the inside half. Once you get that, now you want to go back outside, now I own you, and I can do what I want to do. Aaron Judge wants to hit the ball to right field. He wants to hit a ball to right center. But he had to show guys, you're going to come in, I'm going to turn on you. And now he starts getting that ball out over again. That's why I say he's just figuring out history is made on the inside half of the plate. That was Ted Williams. And it's so true. If you own the inside part, you're going to get your ball away. And that's what I saw with Aaron Judge last year.
Aaron Judge on that arbitration list, maybe with a long-term deal in his future.
This guy changed the whole direction of the Yankee season.
He did, D-Row. He did. And he will continue to change the direction of the Yankee season. Let's take a break. We have more to come.